Hey there everyone, thank you for tuning in to My Crafting World. My name is Anna. So I wanted to share a project with you that has been on my list forever. And the only reason that it's been on my list for that long is because I'm lazy. Yes, that's it, I'm lazy. But anyway, so with the help of Michaels, I found the perfect box for my project. Okay, so I want to make a Dex card holder, and I had been telling myself over and over for the longest time, this is the way I want it, these are the dimensions, this is how deep, how tall, how everything. So yeah, it involved not a whole lot of work, but it's hot outside. I didn't want to go and saw anything, and because I used my husband's power tools. So actually Michaels has their and actually they still have them as of the date of today. They still have their summer, I don't remember what it's called, their summer, their garden, whatever. Anyway, they had them on sale for 60% off, and I thought, you know what, I saw this little box and I fell in love with it, and I said this will be perfect for what I wanted, you know, for the reason that I wanted. So the regular price was $16.99. So I guess it was what, 60% off, because I paid $6 something for it. So anyway, yeah, this is the what I'm going to use for my project. So it's just a, you know, little planter box. I'm assuming that's what it is. Yeah, because it's in the garden section. So okay, so you know I love shabby chic, and what I thought was, okay, all I need to do is put two little sticks in here. Let me see what this is. I just need to put two little sticks in here and voila, it's done. But okay, so it's not that simple. So I thought, okay, yes, I do need two sticks, but I need to, I don't want to drill in the box. A, I don't think it'll be sturdy enough, and B, it's a pretty box, I don't want to ruin it. So I had my husband cut a plank of fencing. I have a brother-in-law that works in fencing, so I get all the fencing I want. And I told my brother-in-law, I told my husband, honey, please cut me 2 pieces of fence. This is 2.5, let me see. Oh, 2.25 by 5 3/4, just in case you guys might want to make one of these. So that fits in there nice and snug. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to set this aside. I do have my own drill, so I am going to sorry, I had to get my my dowel rods here. So I am going to, okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, I was going to sand these down just to have them, you know, smooth, but like I said, it won't match the rest of the box, and you know, because it'll have too bright of the wood, a lot of brightness showing up. So I went ahead and had him cut these to size, and I like the way that looks. I mean, it just looks like it belongs there. So anyway, my next step is to, okay, so I did remove the handle from this side because when I put it in the shelving or wherever it is that I'm going to put it, I want it to be flush. And with the handle, it wouldn't have sit flush because it has handles on both sides. So I took that off and I just left the front side. I just chose the front that I wanted to show, and I like this one a little bit more. This one had a little more splinters than I had liked it. It's got, you know, that sticking out, that little piece of I don't know if it's a nail or a staple or whatever, but I didn't, you know, I thought I'd put that to the back. Anyway, so the next thing I did was got these cut, And I cut 2 pieces of dowel rod. These are 1/4 of an inch thick. Just let me see. There is the size that I purchased. This is what fits on a Dex card, and I cut just to just to measure. So I'm going by this cut, and yeah, it does fit. So the next thing I did was, okay, so I cut 2 of those. I didn't ask my husband to cut them because I have this little hacksaw, handsaw from the dollar store. Yeah, sometimes the little blade comes out, but you know, it does the trick, you know, because this isn't thick at all. So the next thing I did was I put my wood together and decided that I needed to see where about I wanted my Dex cards to fall, because this is essentially the bottom of the box, and I think that much space at the bottom is good enough. That way it can accommodate any width. You know what? I don't think I got it quite centered. So I'm going to remeasure that with my, you know guys, my scientific measuring. So I am going to put that right there. Yep, I'm going to move that a little bit to the side. And that is where I am going to drill my holes for my dowel rods. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm not gonna, marker over it. I am going to put my little pokey, and I am going to decide or eyeball the middle, and that is where I'm going to start drilling right there. So about the center, this is where I will start drilling right there. And the way I'm going to drill is I'm going to leave these 2. I'm probably going to go get a clamp from my husband's wood shop, clamp it together, and then drill both of them at the same time. That way the holes are nice and even. So let me go do that, and I will be right back. So of course my battery had to run out of juice after the first hole. So let me charge this battery, and it is going to take a little bit longer than I thought. Okay, so finally got that drill charged, to the battery charged, and drilled my holes. And like I said, I put both pieces together and drilled a hole on each side. Measured where I wanted the hole, and this is the one that I used for the measurement. This is going to be one of my pieces that this side is going to go. It's not going to show. So this is my front side on one piece, on one end, and this is my front side. Yeah, this is my front side on another end. And honestly, it just doesn't matter, but you guys know I'm a little OCD. Okay, so what I am going to do now is I am going to put the dowel rods in here, and as you see, they fit very nicely. So I measured this, the round end. It's 1/4 of an inch round. So that is the drill bit that I used. Was the 1/4 inch round drill bit. And yes, ladies, I have my own stash. My husband and my children can't get into. So so this one, this one is the one that I used, which is the 1/4 of an inch. Popped it in my drill and drill the 2 holes. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to get my E6000, and I am going to put a little piece of something on there so the glue doesn't get on my tabletop, because it is E6000. So I am going to get the E6000. I'm going to put a little bit in there, and I don't feel like I need a whole lot, just because it does. It is going to fit nice into the, nice and snug into the box. So This one feels a little tight, but that's okay. See, that's why I feel like I don't need a whole lot. Oh, there's that one. Went a little too far. This one is as far as it needs to go. Okay, so I have put in my dowel rods into this one, and like I said, this side is not going to show. This is the side that's not going to show. And then on the other side, I am going to put this one right here like that. Okay, so again, I'm taking a little bit of my E6000 and I'm going to put it right there so it'll make contact with my rods here. Okay, there's that one and there's that one. Okay, so there we go. Those are in as well. Okay, so the next thing I am going to do is, look at that, guys. Isn't that cool? I'm so excited about this. I've been wanting to do this for such a long time. I don't do a lot of Dex cards, but people do send them to me, and you know, I kind of just have them in a box, and I'd like for you know, to be able to use them. So anyway, I am going to put some E6000 on each end of these, and then I'm going to pop it in the box. And I went out, I'm going to do that. I don't want it to seep out, so I'm not going to get so close to the edge, but these fit pretty snug, so I'm not worried about them coming out. So I'm not going to do a whole lot, just enough for them to, you know, grip onto something. So my husband was telling me, he says, well, you know, honey, after you pop it in there with your glue, you can use the staple gun. He has a staple gun that is you know, you have to hook it up to the compressor. And I'm like, heck no, that scares the craftiness right out of me. There's no way I'm gonna use it. So yeah, that's not gonna happen. And I don't want him, he's busy doing other things, and I just don't want him to have to stop what he's doing and help me. Okay, so I'm going to pop this in here. Let me see. It just doesn't matter which end goes first, as long as they're both in there. And I am going to press, they're both in there, push them down, and oh my goodness, they fit nice and snug. So I'm not worried about that silly staple gun. Look at that. Oh my goodness, this is the other end. Of course, some of it's smeared onto the wood. Okay, so I went into the garage looking for clamps, and of course I only found one. My son is the one that knows where everything's at, and he's not here right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that one clamp, and I am going to clamp, look at that, guys. Oh my goodness, look at that. It just looks like it came that way. Oh my gosh, I love it. So simple. It doesn't take much to impress me. Okay, so here's my sample Dex card, and there it goes. It will slide. And oh, I did forget to tell you, I took a little bit of sandpaper and just sanded this down just so it could be just a little bit smoother. But you know, dowel rods are pretty smooth. But look at that, guys. It works great. And it won't matter how tall people make it, you know. And how wide is this sheet of paper? Normally they don't go this wide, but this is 5.5 inches wide, and I think this is just perfect for under $10. Okay, guys. under $10. Okay, so I'm going to clamp this for a little while, and then I may do a little bit of decorating. So I'll let this, I'm gonna clamp this and I'll let it set and decorate it a little bit, and then I'll be back. Okay guys, so I'm back. All right, I calculated to see how much I had spent on my Memorydex card holder, and it's all wood as you saw. I spent, okay, so the container itself was $16.99, but it was 60% off, so it was like $6.80 for the main body of the project. And then I needed to purchase one dowel, which was 1/4 of an inch round. So that was 69 cents. So we're looking at $7.49. Everything else I already had. So you need the one dowel, your wooden box, you need the end pieces, the inside pieces that hold your dowel rods, glue, and a drill. And that's it. So I've already decorated my box. I used my Heidi Swapp punch for the Memorydex cards to do my measurement. And this was my little template so I could see where I was going to drill my hole. And for the decoration, I made a bow with this really pretty ribbon. I got it for $1 at Hobby Lobby. It was on clearance. So yeah, I used a piece of that to make, I almost forgot how to make bows. Oh my gosh, I couldn't, I just stared at the ribbon and I'm like, what do I do with this? And I finally got it. It doesn't look, it wasn't my best, but anyway. So I used some of these acrylic gems, flat back pearls from Michaels. I used the medium size. And I used, let me show you my box. So this is the inside of the box. It was clamped for a couple of hours, and I'm happy with, I don't think it'll come off. So I love it because it looks like it is part of the box. And so this is where I drilled my holes and put my dowels in, and this is the other end. And I did take off, I removed that handle on this side, and I'll you have to use it on another project. So anyway, and here's the handle on the other side. I left that one on. So what I did was I put this trim around there. This was given to me in a rack, and I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, you can kind of tell. It's got that all those colors in there. So I used this ribbon from Hobby Lobby, and all I did was put one of those flat back pearls right in the center of each one. And I didn't go all the way back because, like I said, I want this to be flush up against either the I'm thinking I'm going to keep it on my table, on my work table. But anyway, so I want this flush up against whatever I'm going to set it on. And then the front, here is the front. Oh, it's so hard to see. Here is the front. There is the bow that I made that, you know, yeah. So I had a little trouble with that, and I didn't want to put it on the handle itself just because I want to be able to hold on to it through the handle. So that's why I didn't put it right on the handle. So besides, if I ever want to change the colors, I can just rip that off and put another color on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the camera a little bit, guys, so I can show you, and you might see my messy desk. And okay, so if you see my messy desk, I'm sorry. So this is the front of my Memorydex card holder. I guess that's what they're called. But anyway, so here's my little example, my little template. And I haven't gone and gotten all my Memorydex cards out, but guys, that is going to work perfectly. And yeah, so I am very pleased with the outcome. It was less than $10. It was less than $8. And I think it came out kind of cute. I am in love with my new box. Alrighty guys, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. And I do appreciate the support. I really do. And guys, y'all have a great afternoon. Talk to you guys later.